Hey, Saquon Jones with the Boxing Voice. Good to see you, Steve. Again, how's everything, man?
All good, brother.
All right, I keep saying you looking less stressed these days. You look like you lost a lot of weight. You in the gym, like.
I'm good, man. You just living life.
Was Viacom that bad? Because you look amazing now, man.
Well, get a little time off. Got to wait for my non-compete to expire, so got a little free time. Got enough stuff going on to keep me busy. So no, life's good.
Life's good. All right, man. Because I see how I remember. I've been doing this for 2 years, and your physical transformation, as well as like your energy.
Yeah.
From 2 years ago till today.
There's some stress involved. Yeah, there's some stress involved. So yeah.
All right. So, from your perspective, the Riyadh season, what were your takeaways from that event? Is there anything that you would have?
Interesting. I mean, look, you can't take away from sort of the vision, the concept, even the matchups. They're all great. I think execution, personally, I do things a little bit different. Sort of a long show. Sometimes the pace, sort of lagged. But overall, the fights, in the ring, the vision, the opportunity for the sport, doing it at a non-traditional venue, I think those are all fantastic things. So I would just tweak things around the edges and make it a little bit more fan-friendly.
What about like the aesthetics? There were some things that I agree with you totally that could have been changed.
Yeah,
like the black carpet and the way that
look
was like.
And that's the advantage of going in the stadium. Is the stadium gives you so many advantages from a production standpoint. Able to do the big LED screen and the big LED stage and the walkout and the fireworks, which is a fantastic addition to all that. So visually looks fantastic. Spent a lot of money, and you can tell that it went to good expenditures.
Yeah, and talk about the fights though. Torf's last fight, you had a lot to deal with, there were some chinks in his armor.
I mean, it's tough to say that because look, Madrimov he's a really awkward opponent. Okay. Like you don't see many guys like that, who are guys that are sort of like just that herky jerky style. Off stage, it just doesn't. It's hard to prepare for, and it doesn't give you a lot to work with. He's in and out. He's sort of unpredictable, not really taking a lot of risks. So I don't point the finger as much at Crawford because you got to get an opponent who's giving you something to work with, and the whole game plan with Madrimov was not to give him something to work with. I think.
And last question: What do you think he goes from here? Like, what division do you feel, now that you're from basically not really technically outside looking in, but on the border, where do you see the presence of the sport going now that you're?
I mean, I think for Crawford.
No, just for the sport period.
Look, I think it's an interesting time. I think it's a challenging time. There's a lot of transition. In terms of, at least from the U.S., even from the U.K., networks coming in, networks coming out, new streamers coming in, new partnerships. So I think there's an opportunity right now for the sport to really collectively come together and think about, what do we want to be and how do we want to do it going forward long term? How are we presenting the sport? How are we working with each other? Because right now it's clearly a time of transition. For the last 40 years, HBO and Showtime have been the pillars of the sport, supporting it, in the U.S. Obviously, they're both gone. There's streamers that are presenting opportunities. There's new people coming into the sport, and I think this is both a challenge and an opportunity. So really, the way we start carrying on the sport over the next couple of years, probably going to set the stage for how the sport does and how healthy it is for the next 20 years.
Saquon Jones with the Boxing Voice. Thanks so much, T.
Good to see you, brother.
Thank you. Good to see you as well.
What up, YouTube family? Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.